Pete Diggs.
Look, man. All right, we back. Another episode. Take it from somebody that knows. I'm falling into that title now. Like, we'll give me some background music in a minute.
I like
But
it.
take it from somebody that knows. I'm enjoying these segments that I'm doing right now, so I'm bringing to you another one of Newport News natives. Been around the block, learned some stuff, and coming back with a whole lot of adventure. I need some of that in my life. So yeah, before we get on, that's what we kind of had some dialogue about, just breaking the mold, and getting the most out of life. But before we dive into our conversation, um, moment of silence for my man, uh, Calvin Gilmore Jr., Babe. Um, this is one of my brothers growing up, and so we lost him yesterday. But the outpour of love that we seeing from everybody, it lets us know that he lived a good life. He touched a lot of people, and he's surely gonna be missed. So, one time for my guy. Peace. So we back at it, man. Today, none other than Mr. Nathaniel Manning, my bro. I'm gonna dive right into it, like just this adventurous lifestyle that you got. He's like, man, you just got to try stuff, bro.
Just try it, man.
That's what it's all about. I'm like, man, I'm watching him saying just talk about some near death experiences, like diving in the Gulf of Mexico with a Mexican life vest rigged.
So, long story short, or I'll tell it. The day after I got married, I went. I like to go snorkeling. So the day after I got married, my wife, her and her mom, they went and got massages. There was a massage parlor. We were at the resort. I got married in Mexico at a resort, beautiful place. Another couple we traveled with, his wife and my friend, his wife, their daughter, and my daughter, decided to go on a snorkeling trip.
Right.
So his wife walked down the beach and found basically two Mexicans in a boat. That's just what it was. And they came down. They offered to take us out. Now we didn't go far offshore. So like I was telling you see the red flags after the fact, even though they're right in your face. So there was red flag number one. It was very easy to just get on this boat and just get out on the water, just ride down here. But so I'm on the boat, we're not far offshore. The guy, he gave me my life vest. It didn't snap up. It's red flag number two. He just said that he just tied it up, man. He just tied it up. He patted me on the chest. He said, it's Mexican technology. He gave me a thumbs up. I said, all right, it's cool. I swim like a whale. So, I swim real good. So I was like, I'll be all right. So we get out there. Again, we're not far offshore, but the current is strong. And I jump in the water, and before I could even turn around and tell the rest of the people on the boat, don't get in, the current's too strong, I was already gone. They took me off. So I'm watching my daughter get in the boat. She jumps, get in the water. She jumps in. It takes her off in that direction. My friend and his family, they jump in. They go in a different direction. So I'm swimming to my daughter. Now we're all out here. And the current has taken us in different ways. The guy jumped in to go get my friend and his family. I'm swimming to my daughter. She's freaking out because the current is taking her, what have you. We finally all get back to the boat. They had an experience over there. I looked over there once, and my friend's wife, the head was underwater, and her daughter was on her shoulders. I don't know how that position happened. I don't know how it went down, but nonetheless, we all make it back to the boat. So as I'm pushing my daughter onto the boat, making sure she gets on, I could feel my wedding ring slide off. Like it just came off. So I looked in my mask. I put my mask on, and then the water's not deep. It's about 10, 15 feet deep. So I looked down, and I could just see it, flipping down to the bottom. But it's crystal clear. I could see exactly where it landed. So I tell the guy, it came off, but I can't get my life vest off because it's not on like it's supposed to be. It's just got a bunch of knots. He didn't tie it on. So I can't get my vest off. So then we end up having to move because there was another big boat coming. So we ended up having to move, and I told the boat driver, he said, where did the ring come off at? I said, right where you anchored at the first time. So he went back, don't know how, but he went back and found the exact same spot. that we anchored to the first time. And so at that point, I got my Mexican technology vest off.
That's crazy, bro.
And me and the guide were looking. We're looking in the water. We're looking. And finally, after a few times of going in and out, and I'm breathing heavy, and I'm upset because I lost my ring. So my friends are panicking. They think I'm dying. I'm really all right, though, I promise. But I see the ring. I see it, and the guy sees it. So we underwater, and he's swimming down to it, and for some reason, he comes up. He just popped right up. So now I'm even more upset because I'm like, you saw it. You were right there. So I got the vest off, and after a few attempts, I eventually went down there and picked it up and got it back.
Man, that's crazy.
That's how it was. That was
Why?
a fun experience, though.
Why? And now I'm diving back to origins because I always like to hear people's backstory. Like, what went on in your world that pushed you to always let's just say live on the edge?
Because number one, biggest thing is you never know how long you're here. We never know how long you're gonna be on Earth. You never know how long you're here. So I just like to try stuff. I want to be adventurous. Like, I want to do stuff, see the world, travel. For this specific incident or experience, I would say the biggest thing was I was like, man, I just got this ring yesterday. Like, we're competitors, man. We grew up playing football. We grew up.
Let that ring go.
We all
let that ring go.
And everybody was saying, let it go, let it go. And that just pushed me, I'm the opposite. I just it's right there. Like, y'all don't know that I can see it. It's right there.
Yeah.
And I know my capabilities. Like, I'm not
right.
I'm not going to put myself in a situation I feel like I can't get out of. I can swim 10 feet down to the bottom and back up. Like, I can do that. I know that's feasible. So, and now my appearance, because, I was upset and stressed, probably, and breathing heavy, probably led people to believe that, I was going to drown or something bad was going to happen. But no, I was all right. So. But all in all, man, it's just I just trying to live life to the fullest.
Like you doing it. So is it something like it's like a screw loose?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It ain't all the way there, but
it's risk management, bro. Like I'm very well. I guess it depends because the stuff I do, people might think crazy, like the studio, bro. Like I don't know nothing about none of this equipment. I'm just doing stuff.
And yet you got a dope setup. And that's what it's about. Just doing stuff. Man. Just trying stuff. That's all.
So I don't feel nervous about it. I'm just doing it. So I guess that's the parallel.
That's it.
But I don't feel like I'm gonna die.
There's less risk than versus skydiving. You can go. I do skydive too.
See?
So
you
I've been trying to get you to go with me.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm real good.
I know you're not going. But it's a risk reward. Like you've heard me say, man, anything that can get me killed, I probably want to try it. I probably want to an extent. To an extent, I probably want to go skydiving or jet skiing. I went on another adventure with my wife and the couple we travel with.
Yeah.
In Turks and Caicos, we out here jet skiing. It's supposed to be just an easy going 2-hour jet ski trip out to this boat that's a tourist attraction and back. We get out there. On the way out there, there's another couple on a jet ski. That jet ski is broke down. They sinking. So we stopped. Us and the tour guide stopped because we had the guide with us the whole time now.
Yeah.
We stopped. We pick them up. We end up taking them back to shore. So this made the trip a little longer. So then the guy was like, there's a tiki bar. We go to the tiki. We went out to the boat and he was like, we'll go to a tiki bar. It's a big floating tiki bar. It's a big thing in Turks. So we went out to it. We get to the tiki bar. Now, we're all happy. We get to the tiki bar. There's some drinking involved. I'm not going to lie to you. It was. See? It's a bar.
Yep.
But before the drinking even started, we get there. I'm trying to get on. It's a bar, just floating bar. So I'm trying to get on it. Everybody else is on. I'm trying to get on it. As I'm trying to pull myself up on the boat, I can feel the suction from under the bar. It's pulling me. Like it's pulling me under the boat. So I'm not saying nothing to nobody. I'm just like, yo, I need to get on the boat. And then I start to struggle. So my wife, she sees me struggling and she looks at me and is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm struggling. I'm trying to survive. Like, if this thing gets me, I can feel it's going to pull me up under, I don't want that to happen. So, but nonetheless, we get on there, man. We have a good time on the barge. So now it's time to go back. Well, it's the weather done got the wind has picked up, so it's a little more choppy going back. So to get back a little quicker, my wife got off of her jet ski. She got on mine. The tour guide towed hers. My friend and his wife, they had already went ahead, so they're not even in sight no more. They've gone ahead. So we ride and we come around this corner. and I see a jet ski just floating. And I'm like, well, I wonder who that belongs to. So my wife starts to panic. She thinks it's one of my friends. And sure enough, it was my boy. He had fell off his jet ski, but his wife was ahead of him and didn't realize that he fell off. So she had gone forward. So we picked him up. We got back on the jet ski and we went on back. But luckily we came around the corner when we did. It's kind of what that boiled down to.
Hey, man, look, we everywhere we supposed to be. We everywhere we supposed to be. So, like, man, I'm always trying to use parallels with, like, your adventurous persona, your aura. You're always about that. And I'm just, like want to, like, show parallels and how this translates to your life, your marriage, your job, your career, like how does that show up for you?
So I think one of the best things, in my opinion, that you can be, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your beliefs, political, religious, just be the best human. Just be a good human being. Like that's really what it's about. Yeah. Like just be a good human. Speaking on Babe, he was a good human. Like I don't know anybody that will ever have anything to say bad about that man.
For sure.
In any way, shape, or form.
For sure.
So I think that's the starting point for it all. And then from there, even with my job, like I've worked in sales. I've gone door to door sales. I've sold cars. I've done a lot of sales. But at the end of the day, I wanted to do something that was fun. That was, in some way, shape, or form, give me a little adrenaline rush. So when I became a firefighter paramedic now, I get that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not Chicago fire. Like that's not how it goes.
Listen, I saw yesterday on the news, maybe this week, let's just say this week, Navy guy scaling a building, pulling somebody out. Like when it go down, you already got that mindset just because you practice that in your real life. Like these near-death experience, bro. I'm gonna sit. I don't want to say I'm like a little hoe on this, but somebody do something. You know what I mean? Like that situation ain't called for me yet, but I'm deferring. Yeah, and I'm gonna watch somebody like you just get into action. So like stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure like that. I ain't no hoe, but there's some courageous bones in me, but everything's calculated. Like I'm gonna be familiar to some degree. So like what you do on your spare time, this is what shows up in your real life.
Real life. Yeah. So that's the parallel you talk about. Yeah. Like I like a little adventure in my real life. I mean my work life. Yeah. And my the free time and stuff. Stuff I do on my own. So and eventually it can come in different ways, man. It doesn't have to be something that can get you killed or risk your life. Yeah. Like, I'm about to go to this audition when I leave here for Price is Right. So
see? Adventure. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, why?
So I've always wanted to be on a game show. And for years I've been trying to get on Jeopardy. Some of them I just don't need to go on. Like Wheel of Fortune ain't me. It could be down to one letter. I don't know what this is. Like that's not my cup of tea. But Price is Right is a show I like. And it's just something different, man. It's another way to have some type of an adventure, and it don't have to get you killed, so to speak. So, I go out to this audition. If it works out, next thing you know, they're gonna fly me out to California. I'm out there for 3 days and 2 nights, and hopefully I get to come on down. And now you see me on TV. That's the ultimate goal. That's the end game.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah.
I know. So the connection to get on the Price is Right, bro. Like you said, this audition. Where is it? Like
it's at the casino in Portsmouth. They've been talking about it on the news. It's on Google. Price is Right also has a traveling stage show. So me, my family, me, my wife, my daughter, my mom, we went to the traveling stage show that came to the Ferguson Center was about a month or so ago. And then they announced that they were having auditions at the casino. So I made sure I was off. I made sure I was going to be off this morning and today. So I can go up there and attend the audition.
Damn, man. All right, so that's you in a nutshell. Now, stepping outside of your life and looking at the world that we in now, I feel like the way you live and what is portrayed is night and day. As far as like you just see misery and confusion and all of this stuff. And it's like, how do you stay sane amongst all of that calamity? The
biggest thing, man, it's a mindset. Right. It's a mindset. I I used to have a coach, he used to say you can't be a mental midget. So I kind of live by that. Like, it's a mindset. Like, this negativity is gonna happen. Bad things gonna happen to you personally. They're gonna happen around you. Negativity is gonna happen around you. It's just how you deal with it and how you choose to deal with it. It's gonna happen to everybody. So it's just how you choose to deal with it. And for me, no matter what, I just won't let it affect me to the point where I'm gonna do something negative or something negative, have a negative outcome. That negativity over there is not gonna allow me to be negative. I'm not gonna let that affect me. Because I know at the end of the day, when I come home, I don't want my family to see me being negative. I don't want them to see me being upset or sad or what have you. So
right.
And having children or having a child, that plays on them too. I mean,
right.
If I'm always walking around and moping or reacting to negativity, they're gonna have the same reaction themselves, I believe.
So how are you preparing them for like the world outside when they step out? Like, you get a little girl, young woman, and she's coming to that age where life get real, and it's like the preventive measures, preparation. How are you grooming her? Is there anything that you're doing to kind of get her ready for the world outside?
She plays sports, and I believe sports for kids is huge.
Yeah,
I believe it's huge. I came up playing sports. I mean, you came up playing sports.
Yeah.
The mindset that you have to be a successful athlete and a student is different. And if you really, really want to be good, and you really want to put all your effort into the sport and really be good at it, you have to dive into it. And at that point, it's just, if you're really going to be good at a sport, there's no time for
other stuff.
The BS. There's no time for it. Like,
no idle time, yeah.
Occupy your time with sports. So she plays basketball. She got to middle school now. She tried out with track. She liked track. Never even thought about volleyball. Just try it out. Just if nothing else, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it in that mode. And I think athletics will teach kids a lot of resilience with the real world, the ebbs and the flows of life, the ups and downs. I played on good teams. I mean, in high school we were good, man.
Yeah,
we were good.
Yeah.
We were good. We were really good. Then I got to college and we weren't so good. We weren't so good. But I used to watch guys. They would quit. They would leave. They would transfer. And I'm like, nah, I'm here. I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna make the best of this situation.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is out there, I'm gonna make the best of this situation for me. So I kind of just take that and look at life like that every day. No matter what's going on, no matter how bad it is, I got what I like to call a little 3-foot world. In my 3-foot world, everything is always calm. It's my bubble. And I choose what's gonna come in this bubble. So I can't do nothing about out there, but in here I can choose what comes in here. So I control that. I stay in my 3-foot world. But at times we all got to venture out into the craziness.
Right. So it's like, for me, I understand that the 3-foot bubble, right? And I guess this is where my crazy kicks in, because it's like, I want everybody to share this. Like, so I find myself in places that's just going to disturb this.
Yeah.
And I find myself like, damn, why did I do that? Why do I keep doing this? And it's because when we go back to, like, when you said our environment, how we were good, and I realized we had a lot of good fortune because of a lot of selfless people that were around us. And I reflect on them, and sometimes I just look at them like they superheroes. Like, damn, you took on not 1, 2 kids, bro. You took on a whole gang of us. And to watch, like, year in, I'm talking about Coach Raymond in this moment, like, year in, year out, like, we going to college in droves. Like,
he was doing numbers, man.
Bro, like our whole senior class damn near just like, boom. And we counted out, we from East Head, Newport News. Nobody don't care about here. This is really, literally the dead end. Like, you gotta, when you going down that road, there's no through traffic. You ain't going nowhere. It stops.
Yeah.
And so you fishing kids from here there, and now we going to school. We getting out of here. So that mindset, that aura, Coach West, Coach Marcus Williams, I still see these people. And for a long time, bro, I felt burdened, because it was like I owed this to everybody. And I didn't realize that these people gave me gifts, because I didn't know how to receive a gift with a simple thank you, and that seals the deal. It was like, nah, it's quid pro quo. Like, you do this, I got to do this. And it was always this exchange. So, bro, I'm just now touching on this, unveiling, unpacking my issues.
Yeah.
But now that I understand, I know I don't owe anybody anything, and I'm moving a lot lighter these days to where I understand the impact that we have. And you're talking about sports and how that's preparing kids. And when I'm looking at the landscape, starting from the developmental age, like all of those resources have been stripped.
Yeah.
The community center's gone.
It's gone.
Like that's where we got our
the Doyle Millers. Yeah, it's gone.
Yo.
The Boys and Girls Club. It ain't what it was, man.
And it's like even a youth rec football, because I feel like football is the ultimate.
I do.
The ultimate team game, bro. Like different positions doing different things, but all for a common goal with everybody. The success is dependent on everybody doing their thing.
6 seconds of madness. But we all got to be on the same page at the same time for 6 seconds. Mm-hmm. We all got to do. I'm not looking your direction because I know you got my back.
Yeah, I got to push forward. I got to trust you doing your thing back here. I'm trusting everybody to do their thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we look up and when it worked, we all celebrating. Mm-hmm. And I think that people even stripping the game of its essence right now with everything is hyper individualized. And it's like nobody understands the lessons that we picked up from that, and they're translating into our marriages, our jobs, the community. Mm-hmm. And I think the way we've been so distracted, like I don't know about you, but I'll speak on me when it's like there's so much to do. Like it just seemed like you can't get it all done because prices are going up. You know, you got to work longer hours. Everything demands more of us. And we don't see ourselves as the magic that we are, and how when we in proximity, we're learning from osmosis. Those examples are present. And I think the people who have had the fortune to go learn things at a higher level, like, yeah, you went to Division I college. I went to Division I college. We learned the game at a higher level, and now everything is being played at that level. Mm-hmm. But we don't have the fortune to go and teach what we learned at that level because the demands of our lives are pulling us in different directions. So therefore, you know, we got to take what we can get. And then the people who are in the positions, they are distracted. Mm-hmm. So they don't get that experience. So it's dismantling. This is like strengthening them, but they're stripping us and breaking us down and making it real easy. So I think, like, how can we get back in front of people, younger people? Because I think they need it the most. A lot of them don't have any structure, anything to give them a blueprint. Everybody's shooting from the hip, and they're forced to figure out life at 6, 7 years old. Mm-hmm. So how can we get back in front of them? I seen John Ely post something about, you know, a downtown league, basketball league for the winter. And bro, I don't know no basketball for real, but I'm an athlete, so I'm like, I can figure that out.
I can help.
Yeah,
I can help. I think that's a good example. But how we can get in front of it, in the grander scheme of things, I think it's unity. Like, we have to come together, and I think we also have to accept, like how you said, like you want to help everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we all individually have to accept and understand we all have a lane. Like, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. Play to each other's strengths. You know, your weakness is my strength, and vice versa. So that way you don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to worry about trying to do it all. But if we each individually stay in our lane, play to our strengths, and do just a little bit, each person just do a little bit, that little bit adds up to be a lot.
Right.
If we unify all of our little bits, it adds up to be a lot. So I think that's on a grander scale how we can do it. What you were saying, John, was talking about with the downtown basketball league. Yeah. That's a perfect example of one person doing one thing. Well, I don't want to say little because I don't want to belittle it.
No, I understand.
But one thing, and then Brandon, you got your one thing. You do a shoe drive. All right, you got your one thing. And then this next person, they got their one thing. And then whether it's something on the scale of it can help multiple kids, or if you just don't helping one. You see what I'm saying? And if we all do that, all those little things add up, I think, to help us get ahead of the game, like you asked.
Yeah, so it's like being impact driven.
Exactly.
And it's hard to talk about impact when everybody's focused on the accolades. Mm-hmm. and the attention. Like we see, that's what this is all about, right? Like everybody want a podcast because we want the attention, but it's like, why? What are you going to do with the attention that you garner?
And the podcast, that's your lane. So I don't mind coming on and talk. Like I remember you said, you just want to talk to just regular people from around the way.
Yeah.
It don't get no more regular from around the way than me. So
because we I think that the world, again, this is conditioning. We're looking at some celebrity, some larger than life figure to come and fix what we got right here. When we have people who are more than capable, like I look at you, bro. I look at you as like, nah, that's high level shit. Like you and your family. Like I know that if we sat down and try to orchestrate something, it's going to get done. Like there's nothing in this world that I can't do, and I know that. But what I do know is I can't do everything.
Exactly.
So it's like that's the conundrum. It's like I'm stuck here because I went through this first 40 years trying to muscle every damn thing, and I may lean or been reluctant to ask for things because, again, my own trauma told me not to ask nobody for nothing because they gonna tell me no. So since I don't like to hear no, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna figure it out myself. But that's only gonna get you so far.
Yeah.
And so now I'm at this point now. It's like, I'm learning so many different levels of humility. I thought I was humble. You know, nah. Humble yourself to ask.
Yeah. And understand no is okay.
Yeah.
Like to hear no is okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear more no's than yeses. Make the yeses count. Like that's what I really believe it boils down to. When I used to do sales, I might talk to 100 people just for 3 people to say yes. So them 3 yeses had to count.
And so like I'm in sales now to a real estate, right? And I still don't like to hear no.
I know.
So I rarely hear no. And I'm achieving some success, probably not at the degree of some other people, but that's relative. Like in my world, I'm successful.
Yeah.
And I've done it my way because I understand how to, one, like I matter. My mental health matters. Like,
It absolutely does.
So, bro, like if I just went shoot from the hips and walked up to every person all day, like, hey, man, can I sell a house? Can I? And just heard no all day. Some people can deal with that. I can't.
And most people, that's it. I think it's more abnormal to be able to deal with that than not to. Because the normal person just can't. When I was in sales, that was me. I didn't care how many no's. I just didn't care. I was looking for the yes. I didn't care how many no's it took to get through.
Yeah, that's rough.
But that's not everybody. So I totally get it. Like I remember we had a conversation, it was a while ago. I don't even remember we talked about it. Like now we're at the stage where you have to get used to hearing yes more than you hear no.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Like if I go apply for a job as a firefighter or a paramedic, I expect to get a job offer. I've been doing it a while. I got accolades. I got degrees for this field. Like I got experience. I'm in a 911. Like I've been doing it a while. So I would expect, even if I don't get an offer, I'm expecting to get an offer. You know, and I feel like if I didn't get an offer, it wasn't because I wasn't qualified. That's number one.
Right.
So the same thing with you, man. Like when it comes to sales now, when it comes to real estate, you've been doing it long enough. You're good at it to the point to where you don't have to just ask random, hey, you want to buy a house? You want to buy a house? Because you know how to pick and choose who your client's going to be, how to breed your client, well, not breed, but how to prep your client to be able to get them what they need and get what you need out of it too.
So that attracting piece is like I learned how to attract.
Yeah.
And that take all of that, a lot of that off. But I think, hold on, before I move on, I ain't gonna let this get you like you got Willie.
What it do to him?
See, so when you a one-man band, those only go 30 minutes. So I still need some production, but yeah. So damn, where was I at? This happened last time too. I forgot what the hell I was about to say.
You said attractive, being able to attract.
Yeah.
What you want, basically.
Being able to attract the people that come to me to do transactions, so that I can stay in my right state of mind and still produce how I produce. But that starts with you creating value, and I think that we create value organically. And I'm just saying, like, our people, we make something out of nothing all day. But when it comes to monetizing, we lack in that skills department. And how to monetize off your attractor powers is what flees from us all the time. So this is where it comes back to like having positions in an organization and understanding what each role does. You know, you see everybody taking on or self-proclaiming to be that boss, that CEO, but don't know the role of a CEO. Never seen a CEO execute. When you're really in that worker position, like you may make the best soul food ever, but since you make it, you think you're the CEO of the company, and the company's not going to get off the ground because you don't have the vision for it. You don't know how to distribute. You don't know who you need to appeal to, how to appeal to them, who to make connections with. It's not to discount your role. You may be the best cook ever, but you need people to act in their capacity to help you grow how you're supposed to grow. But everybody wants the title of a boss. And when you're a real boss, a real servant leader, you understand it's your job to shine that light back on those people. When you got a real, let's take it back to sports. Nobody's, well, for the most part, nobody's championing the coach except when it goes wrong. When it's going great, hey man, he played a hell of a game. Not, oh man, he called that. No, bro, like he executed. The people who execute and get the glory, get the credit. But when it goes south, man, who the hell running that company? Who the hell doing? You get that, and you got to understand that that's how it's supposed to work. Because when you understand what that person's vision is, and that person's vision and their purpose, it's your job to create this massive purpose, this massive vision where they can see, hey, I can execute this, I can execute this, and I can execute this with autonomy, because every man wants to be the boss of his own thing. Understand their thing and let them go forth. But your job is to pull the strings so that it encompasses the big vision. So people miss that with, not knowing how to fulfill their role as an attractor or just be the boss. So I just think that's something that we could present again by going back to our community, so showing how, and we ain't everyday people like we regular, no, we ain't regular. No, we extraordinary, but we in proximity with you, and I need people who see you every day to know that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. First off, everything you said, you need to tell that to Jerry Jones. That's the problem with the Cowboys. That's a shot at the Cowboys right there.
That's hey man, he got other issues he dealing with.
But no, you're right, man. You're right. It's right. It's just about understanding that you can't do it all yourself.
Yeah,
you can't do. I even relate that to back when we used to coach. Coach youth.
Dang, yo.
I know it goes back, right?
Yeah.
So back when you used to coach, But you always have that one coach, the head coach, trying to do everything. He's trying to do everything. Or you had one team mom, she's trying to do everything. And it's like you got to delegate.
Yeah.
You got to delegate. So to make sure it all gets done right, you delegate it out, and that goes back to strengths and weaknesses. So if you want to be the boss, you want to be the CEO, if that's your thing, you got to know how. When you do get there, when you do get to that level, number one, you got to know how to delegate to get to that level. And then you have to know how to continue to do it on whatever level you continue to reach. So if you get more employees, if you have more people, if it's about mentoring, you have more mentees or whatever it is, you have to know how to delegate as you grow, as you get bigger.
Right. And that's like also splitting the pie, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to have it all.
Splitting the pie.
You don't have to have it all.
People will rather have 100% of a grape
than 10% of a watermelon,
bro. Like for real.
I know, man.
For real. And it's like we struggle with that department because initially the splits, the profits look like the size of a grape, but when you start to scale, and when you're scaling, you got to understand sometimes the leader gonna eat last.
Yeah.
You're going to eat last because you got to keep the machine fed.
Yeah.
They are the machine. They your hunters. They going to kill. They going to do all of that stuff. And if you got to, tighten up your belt so that they continue to keep the machine going, because if you understand from the optics of a CEO, you're going to see is producing. It just hasn't made it to me yet. So I have to keep the workers fed. I gotta keep my admin, my advertising, marketing team, my cook, by whoever. I gotta keep that going. And shit, if I gotta go shovel some shit tomorrow,
You gonna shovel?
because I need that to go. And it's gonna take time. It's a process, and we don't understand what it means to go through a process.
And trust the process.
Yeah, yo.
Trust the process, man. If that ain't the biggest words I got out of coaching,
Yo.
at every level,
Yeah.
trust the process. Because during the process, it's gonna seem like it ain't gonna work.
What's up?
It's gonna seem like this is a terrible idea.
What's up?
This is a terrible. Why am I doing this? Why am I? If you got a process, and you built that roadmap to get you where you want to go, you gotta trust it, man.
Yeah.
You gotta trust it, and that's so. Yeah.
But it's the example, and this is why it's important for you to be seen, for me to be seen, and people who walk the path that we've walked, because we are an example. We embody what the process looked like, to a certain degree. How can we expect a kid who's starting to lift weights to anticipate what that final thing looks like when they're doing this by themselves? Like, they need an example. Somebody needs to show them, hey, this amount of reps, you got drop sets this week, you got max outs this week, whatever, and see like the different changes and start to see it. Same thing with business. We struggle in business because we don't see examples of like, what does the process look like? You may get somebody who shows the sensational, finished, successful product,
But they didn't show you how they got there.
they ain't show you how they got there.
Yeah. And that's just as important as the fact that
Right.
you are there, is how you got there.
And I'm trying. I understood that. I think Nipsey said it, and it was like, if you don't show how you got there, then you a fool too. And I'm self-conscious sometimes too. But initially, when I first started doing this, we had like a picnic table, like the fold-out cards table. And I set that up there, and I had the cameras, and just threw it in a room, no background, no nothing. And I'm not saying like this is everything, but I want people to see, like, if you go back to my earlier videos, you're going to see like that's where they started.
Yeah.
And now we migrated to this set.
And see how it gets better over time.
Right. You're seeing like, oh, he's learning how to mess with the cameras. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm doing it, and I'm still solo. So like, if you out there and you like know how to do this stuff, like, come on, help me out. Yeah. I appreciate that.
But to be solo, I know y'all can't see it from behind on the other side, but you would think that we in a studio, a production studio with people back here giving directions. No, it's just me and you in here.
YouTubing. I'm telling you, bro, we can do anything, and it's like, but we need examples.
Yeah.
We need examples of what it looks like. Like for me, I think I'm different because I believe that God put it on me to be that visionary. Like I can see stuff, and it causes me just to get in action. And once I'm there, it's like, okay, I'm not the best, but I then start to attract the resources to pull the whole thing together. But a lot of times people need an example because a lot of people are growing up and being developed in chaos and calamity and dysfunction. That's all they present to the world, and that's no knock to them. That's just what they know. They suffering because they don't even know what a good person looks like. And they're facing, these are adults too. Like adults are going through this to where people, man, I've had some things about me that I'm just like, damn, me? You feel that about me? It is like, yeah, yes, you dysfunctional, you are toxic, and I'm like, oh, and they never seen it. So again, I think like us positioning ourselves in a place to where they can see us helps that development for the kids. And like I think, like you said, the sports is some form of an activity. Like they have to latch on to. They gotta believe in it in order to get a foundation. Because again, bro, I just know what they up against because I've seen it. And I was just fortunate enough to, again, be around great people, have that good support system, and I just want to be that vessel for the place that I came up.
And if it's not sports, I mean, 'cause sports ain't for everybody. Everybody's just not good at it. But whatever that activity is, whatever it is, sports, arts, whatever it is.
Again, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Listen, if somebody's interested in becoming a producer, want to learn how to work cameras, like learn how to build podcasts, like this building that I pay for. The vision was ultimately, I called it, I think me and Mel and a couple other people, but it was Level Up Labs. I wanted to have, of course, real estate, because my thing with real estate is using real estate to reinvigorate the community, but start having different things in here where people could come and learn and develop a skill and be something.
And you provide that space.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it. You got it right here, man. You definitely got it right here. It's a dope setup. It's definitely a dope setup. And not my cup of tea. I'm not one to be behind the camera. I need to be on the camera.
Yeah. Listen, you can keep on coming back here, bro, because this what it's all about. Even if you want to do your own thing, like, it's here. And we putting up different sets, different backgrounds. We have, I say by January, this probably gonna be full-fledged, bro. Like,
okay. With multiple, the music and everything?
So we got 1, 2, 3, we'll have four or five different sets.
Okay.
And here we're gonna convert some of these office spaces to spaces where people can come in and use the space and start opening up their voice and making themselves relevant and seen. Like, because the world, we need to see each other.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with you, man. It's a way for people that are comfortable to be able to talk to the world. Like, just let the world know who you are, what it is you do. And like you said, just a regular person from around the way. We all are regular. We all, normal. We all have special gifts or things we can do. It's just collectively in some way, shape, or form, whether we know each other or not, still get together to be able to make it happen. So we can continue to thrive, man. Keep going. Being the best version of yourself, I think, is like one of the best goals a person can have.
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Whatever that looks like, because that's going to look like, it's going to be different for everybody. But just be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, man. I think that came up on me this week too. Like, how do you determine your value? How is your value determined? And I think a lot of times what kept me from actually doing something like this, the vision was there for a long time, but I was worried about what people would think about what it is that I'm doing. And I just kept like, I don't want to be subjected to judgment of other people. And now I called it the fuck it 40s. Fuck it 40s came, right?
Yeah.
And that 40th birthday, it was just like, man, something clicked. The screws came loose. The governor was off, and it was like, nigga, this your shit.
This is you.
This you.
This
like,
is you.
This is who you are. You've always lived your life authentically. But you just didn't feel the need to be in front of everybody. And it's still not for everybody. This is not for everybody. Somebody might not like this, but I understand that I have an obligation to raise my hand and make noise for people who want to see the same things that I'm trying to produce. If you are an alignment and you just like, man, I like what Brandon got going on, I see myself in that, then this for you. And you can hit me up and say like, yo, how can I help? What can I do? And I'm gonna be here for it. Like, I got a plan for it. I have a plan where this thing really is gonna work for all of us. And so now that I let that fear subside, it's like, nah, I'm doing it for y'all. I understand, like, out of this 8 billion people in the world, 250,000, they my people. They my tribe. So if I don't do nothing in this world while I'm here to let y'all know that I'm here, I failed. And I'm this the start.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And we got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And what you're doing, what you've always done, because you've always given back.
Yeah.
Like, you've always been somebody that's giving back. Like, I know on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever platform it is you use, at some point in time, you're going to see Brandon doing something that's him giving back. And but that's your lane, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think fear it holds a lot of people back.
Yeah.
I call it the fear pedal. Take your foot off the fear pedal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, put your foot on the gas, take it off the fear pedal.
The fear pedal for real.
Yeah, you know, because of everything you want is on the other side of fear. And that's for most people, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So I think, you know, once you get past that and just get okay just trying stuff. You know, whatever, it might be a little different. Like this what you're doing here. You're just trying stuff. Like we talked about earlier.
No, man, you just I guess you saying that just took me back because before I was showing the stuff, I didn't. And I didn't show what I was doing because I would hear people say things like, oh, if you do charity in silence, or we need anonymous donors and all of this stuff. And I agree with that because I didn't want to be seen. I felt like if you're doing it from the heart, nobody needs to see. And a voice started waking up in me like, nah, that ain't how this go. That's not how this go. Because people will defer that credit to people who don't deserve it. And what I want is not for people to see me. I want them to see the God in everybody around here, because the things that I put up, that I've shown, I was not able to do that stuff by myself, bro. I'm not rich. I ain't got a crazy bank account. I don't have a whole lot of money just put somewhere. But what I do have is a lot of people who support what I'm doing. So I try to give that credit back, like these shoe drives. This year, I've spent out of my own pocket the least amount of money that I've spent on any shoe drive that I've done. I've spent less than I've ever spent because of the outpour support that I had from so many other people that didn't want to be recognized, didn't want and I know a lot of people do things because of, you know, I'm a businessman too, and the tax write-off. And it's like, man, I don't have a nonprofit that you can send this to, bro. So like, if you need a receipt, bro, I ain't got it.
Yeah.
Like this, when you give me this going exactly to that, and I promise
really just
you,
using it to help.
Yeah, just really going to that. And people like, nah, here, it's cool. Here go 700. Here go 1,000. Like, people just giving it because they seen what I done. And had I not shown myself, I don't think that people would. And it's consistency too, because I consistently done the same thing over and over and over again. And so now they made a believer out of these people that said, I don't need that from you, be here. Here go $1,000. Here go $700. And I was able to execute. And this year, like, the inspiration came from those people who were like, what's up with the shoe drive? Because I was beat, bro. I was tired. Like, it's a lot that goes into
now
it.
It's like it's expected of you almost.
Right.
So, and that's a gift and a curse. It's a gift because if people really, you're doing something so good that if you don't do it, it almost becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, man, why you ain't doing that?
Why you ain't
you know? So, but then on the flip side, that also puts that extra weight on you. Like, you got to make it done. But at the end of the day, you built for that. Some people are built for that. Some people are not. And if you're not, that's okay. Like, everybody doesn't have to be able to do everything.
Right.
Like, know what you do good, do that. Strengths and weaknesses. I mean, just stick to what you're strong at, stay in that lane. I know what I'm not good at. I'm not going to do that. And some people, like yourself, can be the face, can be the forefront, can be out in the open because you're actually a good dude and you do the right things. But then there's some people who can't be because they're not going to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, you know, and then there's some people who want to help who just don't want to be the face. Like me, I help. I never can't be the face or anything, though. You know, but you know you can always hit me for it. I can do whatever. Even my profession, my job, like working as a paramedic, you know, it's a way for me to give back. It's a way for me to help people who really need help.
Serving.
But I don't need recognition every single day.
Right.
I do need a paycheck. But I don't need recognition every single day, though.
Right.
So you know, I kind of look at it that way. So it's, I mean, everybody, like I think, you know, what I was saying earlier, everybody has a role. Everybody has a lane. I think if we all understand what we're supposed to do, accept what we're supposed to do,
right,
accept our strengths for strengths, accept the fact that we have weaknesses, and it's okay. Play to the strengths. That's how we can be successful,
right,
as individuals, as families, which adds up to the community.
And that's what's being put on display right now. And like, everything is like moving in that direction, because I knew that I should run out of bandwidth, bro. I ain't had a capacity to keep on supporting that event. But this year, at the same time, I saw Miss Rebecca Adams, and I just met with her like about 2 weeks ago now. I watched her in the background run her shoe drive, and she set up her nonprofit, and she does all of the same things in alignment. So much so, like we just did our Thanksgiving giveaway, and what she was doing was in total alignment with what we were doing. I ain't have no conversations with her up until 2 weeks ago.
So I saw that video. I looked at you just posted. I saw that. So you know what amazing thing to me, like as I'm looking at the video, what's most amazing to me, it's like, yo, somebody's got to pay for that. Like that's a bill. That's a lot of food.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of turkeys.
Yeah.
Unless the store is giving you this stuff.
Nah.
Like, which I figured they're not. That's a lot of stuff. Somebody's got to pay for that. But at the end of the day, each family, it's going to be a family get fed off each one of those turkeys. That's what it costs to feed families.
Yeah.
Like it's not cheap out here. You know what I mean? If those turkeys, you give those to X amount of families divided by how much you spend, that's how much it costs. It's not cheap. We all know stuff is going up. So I think, when people look at stuff, and see you do something like that, we all think, man, that's cool. That's a nice job. Like, but you have to really understand how much went into that. The time, the amount of money, the effort, the coordination. Yeah. You doing a lot with something like that to help some other people.
Right.
Like a lot of your time, that's a lot of your effort, a lot of your energy to just simply just help other people. I think that's dope. I think it's dope.
Damn, man. You don't really think about it. I don't sit down and think about like, damn, I did X amount of hours of.
No, you don't add it up. But if you did add up all the amount of hours, the man hours, the time you put into it, the money you put into it, the phone calls you made, the emails you sent, the miles on your car, like, the steps you take. Just if you add all that up, man, it's a lot that goes into being able to do something like that. So even though it's on a scale, whatever scale it's on, whether it's here, whatever scale it's on, like it's something to be admired. It's really something to be admired because it takes a lot of effort. Whether it's just you and somebody else, however it goes down, it takes a lot to do your shoe drive, to feed a bunch of families like you did, to just on a day-to-day basis get up and do something so you can provide opportunities for other people in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Now that's and I understand scaling now. So when we go back to that example, that 100% of a grape and watermelon, this is growing into that watermelon. And what you said earlier is like when you learn how to delegate properly to where everybody's lifting a finger, everybody's just lifting a finger, we'll be able to lift all of that up effortlessly.
Absolutely.
And so by her coming on board, partnering with her, it's going to allow me to do what I do best and what I do better than all of that. Like as much as I used to love to go to the mall and shop and go get shoes and like I'm connected to some sources that once this is set up properly now, that we can get the money and we can truly execute how we're supposed to. So like now that we're getting in positions to where I don't have to do all of those things, she coordinates that part down in-house and I can go out and bring the money home. So like, and then we'll see how the layers as they start to grow. But ultimately I want to put on, this is my version of a masterclass. So if you follow me on social media, like you're going to see, oh, this is what they're doing. This is what happens now. Even with the podcast, I never even talk. I never talk, man. I like to watch and I observe and I'll read and I'll do all the studying, but I never felt the need to talk. I don't know where this coming from. I guess it's the 40s.
Fucking 40s.
This is my version of being adventurous.
Hey, it comes in different ways.
Yeah.
It comes in different ways.
Yeah, it used to kill my nerves.
This is you jumping out of a plane.
Oh, for sure.
This is the equivalent. Remember the parallels we talked about before?
This definitely that. This is definitely there that. Oh, definitely jumped out of the plane this year. I'm getting more comfortable. Like even now, when you hit me, my nerves still go bad. So I'm thinking like, please cancel. Please cancel. But no, they like you like, yo, we still on. I could come earlier now. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And then so the pressure that I put on myself is like real people coming in here and nothing scripted. You don't see any no cards.
Yeah.
You don't see, whole teleprompter. I don't have none of that yet. But it's like we just come in here and have like a real conversation, really talking, really chopping it up. And that's what I like about it. That's what keeps the pressure off of me.
So there's things that like I find adventurous or I want to do or what have you. And I think we all can overthink and talk ourselves out of anything. You know what I mean? Whether you should or should not do it, you can talk yourself out of it. So like you were saying, like, man, I hope he don't call. I hope he... So me, I'm like, I could hit him up and cancel. He'd be all right with it. But I'm going to do this, though. You know what I mean? Like, why not, man? Like, why not? Like, who cares what anybody think? Like, I just want to do it. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, I can say, I was on a podcast.
Yeah.
I got a video that'll live in infamy on the internet.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will see it, hear somebody say it, and it'll work for them. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Just like first time I went skydiving, I'm like, well, I'm up here now. The door open, the edge right there. All right, here we go. And then take a step.
Man, that's what's up.
Take a step. So this is you taking your step, man. It's you taking your step.
Yeah, that's perspective. I appreciate that because everything I do is like it just feels orchestrated. Like,
and that's okay. That in itself, that's okay too. Yeah. That's okay too. It's we live in mass chaos, but it's like organized chaos. The world is a chaotic place. But your world can be an organized, chaotic place.
Yeah. I do this all to myself. Yeah. Like nobody's forcing me to do any of this. I whip my own ass. So you can't do nothing to me because I do it to myself.
And that goes back to sports.
Yeah.
That goes back to sports.
Yeah.
I mean, you being able to, you go through a drill before coach even says something to you. Nah, coach, I know what I did wrong.
Yep.
Self-correction. And like I think self-realization is another thing too. Like just realizing, a lot of times the way things are portrayed or what you hear, like just stop the madness for a second and just realize what actually is happening.
Yeah.
What actually is going on.
Yeah.
Not the rhetoric you may hear. Just calm down for a second, step back and just see what actually is going on in your world and the world around you. So
yeah,
I think that helps out.
Yeah, man, we just burnt the hour, bro.
Yeah, we did. I gotta get to this thing, though.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm gonna cut it here. But man, I appreciate you coming out, bro. Damn, this was fun. And you gave me some perspective.
Anything we do part 2, we're first of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for it, bro. Like I have time. Like I've earned this. See how I earned this.
Next level after this is gonna be you taking the camera with you. You having a camera with you everywhere you go. So now you incorporate.
That really ain't my life.
Yeah,
that ain't my life.
But I'm not saying to the point to where it's in your day-to-day life. But for example, when you busting your ass, putting in that work to get this shoe driving to work, let people see what you do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like we did with the turkey drive. Like, you're in the store shopping. Show what it takes to actually make this happen. You know what I mean? I think that helps people realize how big of a thing this really is, how important this really is.
Gotcha.
Like you said before, we just show the end product. You know what I mean? You gotta show the progression along the way too. Yeah, to an extent. I ain't saying we ain't gotta come into Diggs' residence.
Nah. I understand what you're saying. It's storytelling.
Until Netflix pick you up.
Bro. Again, that ain't my life. That ain't my life. I know. Somebody gonna take it off though. I'm more like who's the boy? Black Godfather, Clarence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that though, man. Lane, that's your lane.
That's my lane.
And you know your lane, so you can be successful in your lane.
Yeah,
because you know where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, pushing it down. Y'all go. I'm only doing this to show my people that I'm here and I exist. If you're ready to work, I'm gonna support you. And I'm gonna make it happen. And yeah, man, we're gonna win together.
If I had to summarize B Diggs, I would say, hey, watch me do this. I'm gonna make it work, and then you make it work, and then I'm gonna go do something else and do the same thing. Watch me do this. I'm gonna make it work. All right, it's working. I'm gonna go do something else. Like whenever B Diggs says, watch me do this, that shit gonna be successful. Yeah. I've never seen you say, watch me do this, and it not be. And I know you don't literally say that, but I'm just saying like. That's how it is. Like you pick up, and that's the competitive nature. Go back to football. You pick up something, you get determined to do it, you get determined to be good at it, so you be good at it. I always say I could have been great or really good at any sport if I put the same effort into it as I did football, baseball, basketball took a lot more work, but I could have got there. But no, I appreciate you, man. I do, man. You the real MVP, man.
I appreciate it, bro. Till next time, everybody. Me and Nate, we out.
We out.